Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Universe. I am Aaron St Denis. Follow me everywhere at FF Mad Scientist. We have a special edition today. I am being invaded by these toilets to titles, guys. And of course, I always point the wrong way. I got a 50-50 chance of pointing the right way, and I always point the wrong way. So we've got Justin and Iceman here. I will let them introduce themselves, but as I told them before, I need some time here to type in the results of the monster race. So that's how we're going to start the show. This is going to be the Frankenstank mock draft. Typically, at least the one I did, we do, you have two people who do a paper, scissors, rock, and the winner of that decides what order it is. We are not in person, and I thought we'd just say screw it and do a live monster race is what I have. So that is going to determine what round we each have to draft our monster card by. So I am going to switch over to that screen. Bear with me. I'm going to be using 90 different screens today, so it may not always be a seamless transition. All right, let's get this going here. Set 30 seconds. I have everyone in the list. Pick a number 1 to 5.
3.
3. All right. 1, 2, 3, and let's run this.
Oh, come on, Gorilla.
Come on, auto pick.
Yeah. Can't let that jackass win. Let's go. Oh, look at that. Optimus Prime. Is that Optimus?
That? Yeah, he kind of looks out of place, though, hey?
Yeah. T-Rex is going to win it by a hand.
Oh, there comes Hitman. Awesome. So that's going to be interesting because if I remember correct, I'm going to mute this now. 1 sec. Let me mute this stupid music. If I remember correctly, he is the first person in the draft. He is. So he will be picking first and is now forced to take a monster card with the first pick. So I'm going to need a minute here to write these down and type them in the chat. You two want to take your turn here and, introduce each of yourselves and then kind of tell us about your site there and, give us the couple-minute course here on the Frankenstank League. Dealer's choice. I don't care which one of you wants to start.
Thanks. Iceman _1013 on Twitter, host of Playing with House Money. We are going into our second full season. It's a sports gambling show for those that don't know. We've had a little hiatus during the off season and we'll be back next week. It goes out every Thursday. And then this year we are expanding the universe as it may be. And we'll have 2 or 3 shows going out every week covering a whole variety of different sports. But Thursday afternoons will be the flagship show, and that'll be the one, with our Thursday night football best bets and whatnot. You can catch me and my co-host DJ Prue. We'll be back, and we're starting next week with the preseason.
Yeah, it's going to be good to have DJ back too. We don't personally. I don't really do gambling shows at all because I just go to watch Playing with House Money and win my money that way. So it's been awesome having Iceman and Prue and on the network for sure. But my name is Justin Stevens, and you guys can usually catch me on Tuesday nights on our Toilets to Titles, the main show on Tuesday nights. In season, I'll be on there Friday nights doing the injury updates with my man George. We've got the Title Time Sunday mornings as a start sit show. I know you guys, there's start sit shows everywhere, so just go ahead and consider us on Sunday morning, and we usually have a lot of fun with that as well. But yeah, we've got a lot going on over at Toilets to Titles, toiletstotitles.com, and down there at the bottom at Toilets to Titles. But I'm looking forward to this. If you want, since the first pick has to take a monster card, I know you're busy. I can run through them and give like a really quick, brief description, but also that still might take about 20 minutes. I don't know how much time you have.
Actually, I was going to more just kind of, go through some of the settings here. I'm almost done, actually. I've got about 2 more I'm going to type. Actually, you know what the funny part is? You were talking, and the first thing I noticed, you said you guys were talking about like the gambling and DFS things. And I was thinking to myself, that's one area I've been horribly under paying attention to. And for me, I don't know what it's like for you, but I'm in Canada. Half those sites, like I can't use Underdog. I can't do any of that here. So I find, I turn on to someone's podcast and it's today we're doing Underdog draft. I'm like, well, I can't do this, so I don't really give a damn, and I don't even watch.
Right.
But okay, I have typed the results of the monster race into the chat on Sleeper. Before we get this kicked off, like I said, some of us will be doing a live draft. It's 16 rounds, 1 QB, 1 super flex, 2 running back, 3 receiver, 1 tight end, 6 bench spots for a total of 16 rounds. No trading. Probably the most insane fab system you've ever seen. It doubles all the way till the playoffs start, at which point the minimum bid is $100.
Not exactly. So we start off $1, and then after week 1, we add 1 to that to make it 2. After week 2, we add 2 to that to make it 4. So it seems like we're doubling early on, but then we're just adding whatever week we're on. So at week 14, we're just adding 14 to whatever the total is. It's not doubling it, but at first it seems like it. And then once the playoffs start, it just stays at 100 for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't realize that as I went through it. Sorry, guys, just buzzing through some hello messages. Hey, guys.
All good.
I realized that at one point I was like, oh, okay, I just need to make a free agent move here. And I looked and I was like, and it's $95 and I have 93 left. And I was like, come on, you're killing me. But so everyone gets a monster card that they draft. Obviously, hidden under our screen here is what round we have to draft it by. It is I guess, what would we call it? A vampire league, a monster league? I know it's monster cards, but because a vampire league, there's only one guy who can steal. Everyone can steal in here, so.
Correct. Yeah, it's kind of like a vampire style. Other people called it a pirate league, like a pirate style. Because
That's what I thought of it as.
Yeah. So it's more like that, yeah. But we like to call it vampire because it's monster themed.
All right. So besides the fact that we can have different cards, which we'll explain as we go along, the draft is 3rd round reversal. And you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. This is just how we did it last year. The teams that start 0-2 get to do a draw for a hero card, which gives them some form of boost, to their score to get them back in it, which I really hated because one of my losses late in the season was a guy who started 0-2 and then got built back up on it. But correct me if I'm wrong there. Was that about the gist of the hero cards?
Yep, absolutely. Before we started the hero cards, people would start off 0-2, lose top 2 players, and then quit. Now, just like you said, you start off 0-2, you have an opportunity to fight back with a hero.
All right. Okay, so we're about to kick off the draft here. We have some funky rules, and I guarantee I'm going to have to pause this at least once to explain them. So rounds 1 and 2, once again, interrupt me if I get this wrong, but rounds 1 and 2, rookies and sophomores only, no quarterbacks. Round 3, veterans only, but no quarterback. Just write any veteran, but non-quarterback. Round 4, only veteran quarterbacks. Round 5 is any player who was on a team that made the playoffs last year. Round 6, any player on a non-playoff team last year. Round 7 on free-for-all, with the exception of, obviously, the rounds where you have to have your monster card by, which, like I said, it's covered up on our screen. But did I kind of get the gist of it here? I know it's a lot of rules.
Yep. Yeah, no, you got it.
I thought the first round is rookies and sophomores, but that includes QBs, right?
Oh, does it?
You said non-QB, but it does include rookie and sophomore QBs.
Thank you. I have that written down as non-QB.
Only the first
round
2
3.
rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, round 3 is non. Yeah.
I thought I remember you saying that at Canton last year, because then you were talking about the strategy of, do you take your rookie quarterback now, or a quarterback now in general,
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's got to be wrong. But I'm going to type one last thing in here. If you want a monster, draft a kicker, which means briefly, I am going to have to change, guys. I'm going to have to change. I forgot to do this earlier. One of these bench spots. Oh, no, I already have one. Sorry. Kicker is in already, so we're good. I think we're good to go. I am going to set it for 12 rounds. I know your draft is 16 rounds, but 16 rounds with how difficult this league is. We're going to be here all year, so I have updated it. We are 12 rounds. Like I said, guys, if you want to draft a monster, just draft a kicker, and I believe we are ready to fire it up. already, and the first guy on the clock is going to have to take a monster card because he has no choice. So let's fire away. While we wait, who do you guys have here as your 101?
In this, I'd be taking a monster card anyway.
Yeah. Well, he is. So
I agree. I have a top 3 or 4 monsters that I want, and if I can get them in the first round, I don't care where I'm drafting in the first round. I'm taking them.
But I also think that aside, if you're not taking him, it kind of has to be Caleb in this format.
Oh,
I would assume.
So for him, he has chosen Tucker, which is actually Freddie. Is that who you guys?
Yeah, it's a decent. I think you can, with the updated monster cards, you could pick any one of a handful. But Freddie definitely was a big card last year, so I don't hate that choice at all.
All right,
that's one of my top 4 as well.
We have 2 cards in here. That one is. Did he say he'll take Frank? Oh, I don't think Frankenstein went that high last year. Okay, so Frankenstein and Fred.
Frankenstein has been improved though, so the video you have on Frankenstein is not correct. That's why Frank is a lot more powerful now.
So I was going to do some of the videos explaining, but I know you said you've added some cards and you've updated. Would you guys rather I'll just throw it to you? Does someone want to break down basically what the Freddy is?
Sure.
Go for it.
You want to do Freddy? Because I know Frank.
Yeah. So Freddy is a season-long card. Basically, you at the start of the season will pick which position he's going to be, and then every week you get the average of the top 10 scorers at that position. So if you designate him as your quarterback and you've got, you don't then necessarily have to have one of the top guys. You could pick Gardner Minshew, and if he's playing for the Raiders, regardless of what his score is, you get the average of the top 10 QBs every single week, as long as they register a stat. So as long as that person is playing, then I know a lot of guys last year had him tagged against Bryce Young. Justin, is that right? Like they had caught,
yes.
And they were then taking the top points of the quarterback. So it's a very, very strong card. Like I said, it's season long. It's the Frankenstank season long. Doesn't go into the playoffs. But then, I mean, it can be stolen if you lose the game. But that's all about the person that you attach it to, right? So,
yeah. So if they put it on Bryce Young and your opponent steals Bryce Young, you lose the card, but the card doesn't go with Bryce Young. So that also kind of prevents people from maybe wanting to steal Bryce Young because he sucked last year for fantasy. Well, and in general.
That was my 101 last year. I think I debated between that and Ghostbusters. But so the second one was Frankenstein. What were the changes here? Because I know that wasn't even drafted, I think, in my league last year, and now it goes second.
Yeah, that was the problem. I mean, this is the guy that the entire league is named after, and it wasn't being drafted anywhere for several years. So we beefed it up quite a bit. So before, it was pretty much you could steal the players' points from, like, let's say you had a running back that didn't score very much. You could steal the running back points from your opponent for that week and give them the running back points from your roster for that week. And it was just a one-time use, one position only. So we wanted to beef them up to be as strong as some of these new cards that we have that we've brought out. And so now you can use this card up to 4 times in a season. And it's because Frankenstein has the body parts of the head, he's got the arms, he's got the legs, and he's got the torso of other people. So you're going to be building a monster within your monster by using this card. So what will happen is you have to announce before the week's games that you're going to be using the card. You do not have to announce the position or who you're stealing the points from until after the games, but you at least have to announce before the games that you're using the card. So now your opponent at least knows you're using that card. And what will happen is after the games are done, you can say, I want to steal my opponent's points for this one player. And let's say it's quarterback Josh Allen, and you're going to give him back the points for your quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, that didn't play that well that week. So you're just swapping points. Now, if you win your match after you make that swap, then you can use the card up to 3 more times because the quarterback is the head. You've just taken the head. So you can still use the card to try to steal running back points, which is the legs, wide receiver points, which is the arms, and torso points, which is the tight end.
Yep.
But as long as you win your match, every time you use the card, you can still continue to use it again. But if you lose your match after you've played the card, then you're done. You can't use it anymore.
I went at third, and this was a kind of a debate for me. I went with a kicker and the Ghostbuster card. I think that was the only other card that I wanted. Otherwise, I would have gone player here. Anybody want to break down the Ghostbuster card? You're on mute, Justin.
Yeah, I said that one's simple. You stop other monsters from being able to be used against you. And now it doesn't work for all of the monsters. There are a couple in there that the Ghostbuster can't stop just because of the nuance of what the card is. But for the most part, you're playing it safe. You're playing defense with that card.
All right. And Team 4 tried to pick Josh Allen. That's obviously not allowed. They don't have to take their monster card till the 11th round. I think for me, they're probably going Caleb Williams here. What are you guys thinking on who Team 4 should be auto-picking?
I mean, so it depends on the strategy. Caleb Williams would be the rookie to take. I still have a couple of monster cards out there I would rather have.
Well, whatever you guys think.
What do you think, Chris? You're on mute.
Sorry, I'd say Caleb at this point. Yeah.
Caleb?
All right. 2-1.
All right. Let's go, Caleb. I just got to assign this. And then we will continue. I imagine we'll get a couple of picks here at some point that we won't have to stop and break down, but let's see. So we've got 3 monster cards and a rookie quarterback. I'm trying my best to keep track of all these. So Jerry needed to take one by anybody know who Jerry is?
He's to
take one by the 12th round. Yeah. He's good. He's good.
In the second spot. Yeah, he's good.
All right. Who do we have? We have Steve on the clock here. He was saying he's got to – I just need to explain to him here. He either have to draft first. Apparently, he's not at home and didn't read the rules. So
it's all good.
He's asking which players he can draft. So not ideal for this format, that's for sure.
Might want to pause it though because he's got 9 seconds.
Yep. If he gets timed out here, we'll end up auto picking him, which he did. So we're gonna have to pause. All right. So thoughts here.
I'm still on the monster card until my top probably 3, 4, maybe even 5 are gone. I'm on the monster cards.
We are looking here. It looks like someone's typing, so I'm hoping that is him. And then we can start to get through this a little bit here. Once we get through the first few rounds, I think we did this last year. It took us forever.
Yeah. If we do go monster card, I'm saying the blob is my next powerful card that's on there because with the blob, you get to steal an opponent's. What's that?
He said Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I seen that. I'm typing it in right now. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Got it.
And then we will go back on the clock. Next up, this person has to pick a monster card by the 6th. Sorry, who did you say? Which monster cards were you targeting?
The blob. So hopefully Sharknado isn't watching. Great name, by the way. If you do take it, then you totally deserve it for that awesome team name or that name username. So you can have the blob if you want, because I still have another monster card that I really like as well. That's still out there.
Let's see who he goes with. Oh, he went to Jaden Daniels. Iceman, which one are you on here? I know Justin's the T2T one, right?
I'm pick 8. Optimus. I'm Optimus.
Oh, are you? Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
That leaves you on the clock, Justin. You're going monster card, I'm going to assume.
Yep. Let me find a kicker here I like. Yeah, let's try this guy.
You didn't have to go till the 9th, so you must really like that guy. You must really like, would you say the blob or somebody else?
The blob. I'm going with the blob. I'll type that in. My kicker is the blob. It's my number 3 card on the board right now. So I just love it because you can steal any player without giving another player back in return, and you can use it after week 2. So let's say I'm off to a slow start, or even if I'm off to a good start, I could really hurt my opponent. If I beat them in week 3, I steal their player, and then I also steal a player with the blob. Now I've taken 2 top guys. And if I happen to have won the first 2 weeks, I've now stolen 4 players in 3 weeks, which is an advantage that other teams don't get. So
nice.
that's not as powerful because of some of the other powerful cards we have, but honestly, I haven't even really had time to process a lot of the new cards.
Can Ghostbusters block that?
The Ghostbuster can block that. That's why you kind of hold off and you wait and you choose the right moment. Like last year, I was the second best team in my division. I waited until I played the best team in the division, and I stole Travis Kelce from him. And he started to falter, and I ended up winning the division. So if you wait until the right time to steal that player, you could really hurt somebody.
Iceman, you got autoed. Who do you want?
CJ Stroud, please.
Oh, okay. One sec. CJ Stroud. You didn't have any monster cards you were looking at?
The reason I timed out is because I was waiting for Justin to finish because the blob is the card I took last year. For the exact reason that Justin explained. So yeah, I think the card that I would take at this point will still be there on the way back.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. I'll take CJ. People forget about him because he's a sophomore. So
Primetime has an interesting situation here. They look like they're not here. I'm going to time out. So if we auto pick, it's tough because they definitely need one by the 3rd round. So do they take the monster card here, or do they go with? Well, I guess they could still go with the Bijan, or they could go Richardson. There's some decent players left.
Yeah.
What do you guys have in mind? Because I am thinking in 15 seconds we're going to get to make this pick. So what are your thoughts? Who does Primetime take here?
Either of those 2 you mentioned, I think, Bijan or AR.
I lean towards AR because it's super flex.
Yeah.
For me, it's Rumpelstiltskin, and it's not even that close. And AR is like the last guy that I want to have in any fantasy league. And I've explained that a dozen times on my show. Like nobody believes me, but it by about week 7, 8, you guys will see it, and you'll all start watching Toilets of Titles.
All right, so we'll go.
You're a Colts fan, so it's a little bit of There's also a little bit.
We'll go Rumpelstiltskin there because they needed to have one by the 3rd round anyway. So,
except I hated the Anthony Richardson pick when they took him. So it's not that I'm jaded from last year. I'm jaded from him not being healthy since his sophomore year in high school.
I was gonna say, aren't you a Colts fan?
Yes, I am, and that's why I'm allowed to talk bad about my team. Fans need to understand that they need to quit being cheerleaders for their teams and start telling their owners what they need to do.
Hey, we got a couple of picks in a row here.
Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. Just to go over that, that was the card that.
Oh yes, please do.
You can block a player in your lineup from being stolen. So if you don't lose the card. But if you lose the matchup, then one of your players is blocked. And if your opponent tries to steal that blocked player, you keep that player, but also get to switch and steal one of his. And if they pick somebody else that isn't your block player, then that's how you lose the card. But they can choose, obviously, not to steal someone if they know that you have that card and your best player is blocked. That's the game. It's like they could. So, yeah, I like the card.
I'm going to unpause this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say what makes Rumpelstiltskin so much more powerful, though, and makes it in my top 3 is that because if you use it successfully, you get to keep the card and you can continue to use it all season. And so if you're successful with it every week, you're stealing players right and left, even on the weeks that you lose, until somebody finally stops it and guesses who Rumpelstiltskin is.
All right. I was going to keep going here, but I still need the guy in the 12 spot to is he in the Yahoo chat? Yes, he is. What monster, Duarte? Did he post it in the chat? No, hey? I can't find it anywhere. Are you guys seeing where he posted?
No.
Because I can't keep going on here before we find out who he took at the 112. So we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half the first round ended up being monsters. I think in my league last year it was only 5 maybe. Oh, here we get someone typing. Let's see who he took. So we have everyone who needed a monster card in the first 4 rounds has now fulfilled that. So they went early. Pennywise.
Oh, good one. Nice.
You want to explain that while we see a couple more picks?
So Pennywise, it's just like the clown himself can just change his form. Pennywise, you get to you as long as you state it before the week's game start on Thursday night, you just tell type it in there that you are like your quarterback or whatever player. It can be any position, any player gets to change who they are for that 1 week. So I'm going to use quarterback as an example. Again, let's say of Gardner Minshew. I can turn him into Josh Allen and get Josh Allen's points for that week if I want to, as long as the player that I'm turning into isn't on my opponent's roster or on my roster already. I can't have 2 Josh Allens. Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, of course I am, because I was coughing too much and I stopped it. So we had 6 kickers taken in the first round, and then the remaining were rookie quarterbacks, basically. Or second year. We had Caleb, Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and that was added with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Bijan. Then we start with back-to-back players instead of cards in Jahmyr Gibbs and Puka Nacua. Let's see who goes next. One Pride doesn't have to take a monster card anytime soon, so we'll see where it goes. Is there a particular card or player you'd be looking at right now out of the first and second year guys?
Sam Laporta was the one for me that
I gotta pause this here 1 sec. I gotta undo a couple of picks. So we can't do Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. So what are we thinking here for these 2 teams, guys? Neither of them needs a monster card. Oh, one of them is you, so I can undo that. But what are we thinking for primetime?
Mine for the last pick was tight ends. It was between Laporta or Brock Bowers. So I might take Bowers there if I was him.
All right, I can be on board with that.
There is a tight end premium in this league, and you're taking a rookie or second year player, so it's definitely a good strategy move for this league.
Bowers it is. Can you take yourself off of auto before I unpause it here? It says you're still on auto, Iceman.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how to do that on the...
I forget how to do it. Do you have to go into your queue and take it? I don't remember.
Yeah, hang on, let me do it on that. I was drafting on the...
Do you have someone in mind you want me to take for you while you sort it out?
Just take a kicker for me. Any kicker. And I'm gonna take Gizmo, which is a brand new card this year. Yeah, card this year.
Yeah.
And as Justin said, like you can't feed a gremlin after midnight, or he will get mad. But if you make a gremlin play more than 60 minutes, then he also gets mad and multiplies. So this is a season-long card that can't be lost. Basically, any player that then plays in my lineup that plays an in overtime game gets an additional 20% on their points total. So I just think there's the potential for this card to be pretty good. If you get 1 or 2 overtime games a week, then this could be really hit or miss, this card. So
yeah, high risk, high reward.
Yeah,
I'm going to resume it here with you on the clock, Justin. You've got your card taken for your monsters, so you got to take a rookie or a sophomore. Where are you looking?
Oh, I'm really debating right now because I do think that Malik Neighbors is going to be a solid flexible starting type of guy. But Tank Dell is still just a second year player. And I think he's going to be a lot more explosive. He'll have bigger games. In this league, it's an elevated scoring. So after 100 yards or even after like 10 yards, the point value of every yard goes up. And then after 50 yards, it goes up. And after 75 yards, it goes up. So I think Tank Dell is one of those guys where he can get you some of those big plays that could get you like 40 points in one play and win you a week. So in this league, I'm going to target Tank Dell in the second round if I can get him.
For me, I think the hardest part right now is looking through trying to remember which players are. I can remember the rookies, but trying to remember, is that guy second year or third year? Oh, we have another kicker. Let's see who.
All right, let's see it, Sharknado. Yeah, and the reason I love that Gizmo pick is because it's all season long, and you can't lose the card. Ghostbuster can prevent you from playing it the week they face you, but that's it. And they're not going to use their card for that. They're going to take the chance and hope that you just don't have overtime games.
He went with Michael Myers. He went with.
Oh, yes.
Care to elaborate?
Myers. Yes, another fun card for me personally. I enjoyed the Michael Myers series. I enjoyed his movies, but Michael Myers, obviously Halloween. This card's only good in October, so that's the one downside. But you could use it for up to 4 weeks. In week 1 of October, and we'll designate exactly what date that is because sometimes the weeks half start in October or whatever. But we'll designate the week ahead of time. But week 1 of October, your opponent has 10% of their points removed. Their total score is removed for that week. If you win that week, then you get to use it the following week, and your opponent loses 15%. If you win again, use it again, 17% for your week 3 opponent in October. And then you win again, use it again. Week 4 opponent loses 20% for the week of October. Now, if you lose at any point during that time, you lose your card. But what's sweet about this is if they're losing that percentage and you're winning, then you're getting on a nice win streak right before the playoffs and stealing 4 players right in a row right before the playoff run. So that's that card turned out really well for Dion last season when he went from a middle of the road team to I think he was one of the final 2 or final 4 teams.
Nope. I have to stop one here. Just a sec. I didn't see CMC come in. Before that CMC was taken, we had a kicker, and it was the Mummy. Then it went to I didn't see this pick. I'll have to remove it. I went with Malik Neighbors, and I really, in hindsight, wish I hadn't taken a kicker with my first pick here because I like the rookie options a lot better last round than I do now, and I wish I had just waited. Okay, who do you guys think this pick should be here? I can take Malik Neighbors off the board if that's who you guys are looking, or do you think
funny? I posted in our private chat that you choose Neighbors for Team 4.
And that's I think that's already 2-0 because you would have taken him too, obviously.
So Malik Neighbors it is. Okay, but I'll put Malik Neighbors in there too. And you want to explain the Mummy who was taken by Steve-O here?
Yeah, do you want that one?
Yeah, I can do that one. In a second when I find the goddamn thing.
Oh, well, that's all right. I've got it. It's no problem.
No, yeah, just they have to start the same lineup. Your opponent has to start the same lineup that they played last week. So if you're playing someone that put out a full strength side last week but has multiple players on bye this week, that's an ideal time to use your card because they're going to have to start players that are on bye week. So, can be pretty big if they have multiple players from the same team or multiple players on same week bye. So
I
dislike the only players. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I disliked the options I had. In the second round here when I thought my pick was Neighbors, I dislike it even more when I had to go Purdy. I do not love that. I don't love it. I really wish I hadn't taken the kicker.
Third year.
Yeah,
is he?
I think this is Purdy's third year. If it says,
I'm going to dislike it even more.
Yeah. Oh man, and then
he is.
Yeah,
it's all right. I'm not going to undo the H-An pick. He can have him. That's my mistake. I am going to take. I don't love any of these guys.
Really would. Slim.
Yeah. Moral of the story here was I really wish I hadn't gone with a monster card in the first round from the 3.
I don't know, man. You got a good one though. That's the thing. Like that. Yep. So that monster card that you got in the 3 hole is going to get you better players in the long run.
I wouldn't be
than whoever you would have gotten as a rookie in that first round. Like, you go Caleb Williams there, like, who cares?
Yeah, you can take a gamble on any of those guys that you think's going to go off. You know, whether you want to choose O'Dunn's, Xavier Worthy, any of those rookies that could. It's a risk pick, but it's at this point in the second round, every pick there is like you're kind of the upside is the card that you picked in round 1. So
Yeah.
will-
And you have the
I will alert
Ghostbuster,
you.
which means every week you're sending a message to your opponent. Hey, I see that you have such and such card. Don't forget, I've got the Ghostbuster. I will stop it. You'll waste your card. And then they'll never play a card against you.
Okay, I'm going to pause this here quickly. I just want to pause it quickly because third round is veterans, no QB. Okay, so that's a legal pick. I was just double checking. I couldn't remember. And it's third round reversal. So
Duarte knows his.
Yeah.
I thought so. I just wanted to double check because I couldn't remember. So we're good there.
We're good.
This is no QBs, right?
Correct.
All right, so maybe now we'll actually start getting through some picks quickly here because we've been rather slow to start. Yeah, it always is. Now it's more of a normal draft. Okay, I got to redo that one. Hold up, because obviously that auto pick cannot be Jalen Hurts. Remove player. Who are we thinking here? Best player on the board is JJ?
Yeah.
Yeah? That makes sense?
Yeah.
I would say so.
Okay. Justin Jefferson it is. Then it's back to you guys. Let me cue this back up. There we go. You both have your card. So who do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. The auto pick, Greg, and 1 Pride. So the 4, 10, 11 are the only ones who need their monster card. And it's only 1 monster card allowed, right?
Yep.
Are you guys having it where they was it the same as last year? Is it an additional spot, or do they take up a roster spot, or how's it work?
Yeah, they do use up one of your roster spots, but once you lose or use the card, then you get to fill in that with a player. I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce for 1 more year just because of the tight end premium in this league. Last year I drafted for somebody and did not have my list with me and was just kind of drafting off the cuff and totally forgot about the tight end premium and did not take Kelce. And I regretted it because that guy ended up not showing up and I had to take his team because I drafted
Ronnie.
it.
Ronnie was at the poker game and you ended up drafting for him. That guy's wrong,
It was
correct?
Bobby Cables. It was Bobby Cables.
Oh, was it Bobby? Okay.
Yeah.
We're good, though, with the CMC pick, right? He said he can't be picked, but I think we're good for this round.
Yeah, CMC can be picked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I was kicking myself for not taking Kelce, and then I ended up stealing Kelce in week 8 with the blob card, so it all worked out, and I ended up making the top 8. So
thanks,
we're all good.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. It was my Travis Kelce, wasn't it? Or was it the other guys?
You
stole my Mark Andrews, who was then gone for the season.
Yeah, I stole your Mark Andrews, and then like a week or 2 later, I stole his Travis Kelce. And I believe Kelce might have been stolen from you at some point earlier in the season, but
yeah, I lost 2 in a row, and they lost me my 2 tight ends. So I auto picked AJ Brown there. Then we're back to me, so I can just take whoever the hell I want. I don't love this spot in the draft. It's paused. That's why it won't let me pick. I am going to take my running back that I want here, Jonathan Taylor, and we're back up to Jerry. So we haven't had a kicker in a long, long time. That's good news. Moves the show along a little faster.
And then
so then the next round will be veteran QBs only, correct?
Yep, correct.
All right. We'll see how many of those get wrong. It's interesting to see which side of the board benefits which. So like the 301 operates as like the 101 in a single QB league, whereas the 401 kind of operates like the 101 in a super flex. So that's something to consider which side of the board you're on, whether you need to, expect, because if the end of the board, you should be expecting you're going to get the position players, whereas the beginning of the board here, it's going to be all the quarterbacks just because of how the rounds go. So that's an interesting observation.
Having the 101 and being able to have your pick of any card and any QB, I think is still benefits the 101. But I also don't mind being the 112 because you can get CMC, and as we see here, he's got Jamar Gibbs as well. So Duarte's pretty set at running back there. So I don't mind either end, to be honest. I just don't really like being in the middle.
Yeah, the middle is tough. But you also don't realize how many like roster spots are being used for those monsters and those rookies and second-year players. So in that 5th round, when you're only taking players that were on playoff teams from last year, you're surprised at how many good players are still available that you can't even still take because they didn't make the playoffs last year.
I remember looking at this last year and seeing players, and I'm like, how is that guy a 7th round pick? Or a 6th round pick? I don't understand it.
Right. So even the ends in those 2 rounds still get a nice little bonus. All right. Hey, excellent. Love it. Jordan Love, let's go earn that money.
Oh, nice. So we'll see. It's going to get interesting next round when we have to. I have it written down. That's the first thing I did. What the 14 playoff teams from last year were. I got to stop that 1 sec. I got to stop it. No Olave. Pause draft, remove. Who's the top quarterback on the board? Purdy, who I tried to draft 3 rounds ago.
Yeah, I would take definitely Purdy over a monster card. Oh, they already have their monster. Okay.
No, they have to take a quarterback, don't they? Yes. This round's only quarterback, veteran quarterback.
You can still take a monster any round.
Oh, can you? Okay, that I didn't know. Yeah. That's good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not later than the round you have to, but yeah.
Oh, so that's something to consider then for the 2 here. These 2 have to take a monster card.
Yeah, so like One Pride, he already has a quarterback here. He could make that decision if he wanted to. Now, personally, I wouldn't because I don't think he has a quarterback here in Anthony Richardson.
That's just mean. Just mean.
But honestly, he's got Laporte. Oh, he's going with the monster. I like it.
Let's see what one he took.
Candyman.
Oh, do you want to explain that one?
Yeah, Candyman can be used up to 3 times if you use it properly, and if you win that week, I believe. Let me read it. So if your opponent's starting quarterbacks throw for a combined 3 or more interceptions, then he or she will lose 50 points from their total score for that week. This card can be played up to 3 times in a row if your opponent's quarterbacks do actually combine for 3 or more interceptions per week. So in other words, if you use it effectively, then you can use it up to 2 more times, but you have to use the 3 weeks consecutively, just like Candyman in front of the mirror. You got to say it 3 times in a row. But the one reason I don't like this card is because you have to play that card before the week's games start. So if I'm going up against Candyman and he plays it, there's a chance I might only start 1 quarterback. But also that's good for you if you played Candyman because he's only starting 1 quarterback, and quarterbacks score a lot in this Superflex league.
All right, so we're in the 5th now, and this is players who were on playoff teams last year. So let's see how many of these picks I have to correct here. Duarte was here. I don't know where he took off to, but so we only have 2 teams by my count that still need a card, and they need them in the 10th and the 11th is the auto pick. So is there a card that you really think moved up the board here, like either a card that's been altered or a card you just added that you really are digging? And 1 sec. Oh yeah. Okay, so he's on the Eagles. The Eagles made the playoffs. It goes by what team he's on now, right? So Philly made it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct.
It wasn't the Giants. Okay, so despite the fact that it was an auto, it is a legal pick. Sorry, back to my previous question. Thoughts?
So are you asking for monster cards that we think have gone a little too high or not too high?
No, cards that are still available that you either think gained value since last year or just new ones that you find particularly valuable that, maybe people haven't picked because, they didn't know about them. Like there's a couple that you said you've added. I couldn't even tell you what you added. I didn't even know what Gizmo was. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that Iceman didn't take the Leprechaun, though. To be honest with you, that's all about luck and the wheel spin. But he doesn't go on luck. He doesn't gamble. Yeah. It's not gambling if you win. So, but no. We did adjust the Leprechaun wheel a little bit because before there were 9 bad things or 9 good things for your team and 10 bad things. But essentially, if you choose a Leprechaun, you spin the wheel. And whatever it lands on is your fate. So now there's like 14 good things, 1 item that says spin it twice. But we spin that wheel live on air, and then there's like 5 or 6 bad things. So it's more likely you're going to get something good out of it. So I do kind of like that we adjusted that.
I had to redo that pick there. I just gave them the highest available. They picked someone from a non-playoff team. So it's back to Iceman here. In the round 2 of the Dolphins checks out. The Dolphins check out. Oh, I forgot. This is super flex. You are correct.
Yeah, I got sniped.
You did get sniped. That puts Justin on the clock here.
You have the list of teams that made the playoffs, right?
I do, yes.
Okay, because if I take one here, I might need your help.
You can tell me the team if you want.
Well, the Jaguars. Did the Jaguars make the playoffs?
No, they were the ETN was the one that was picked that I had to undo for Henry. They did not.
Okay, what about the Rams?
Rams did, yep. Lost to the Lions in the first round.
All right, then. I'll get my QB2 here, Matthew Stafford. Just because I'm scared of what's going to be there on the way back, and then whatever comes on the way back, it's going to be a team that didn't make the playoffs. So how good is their quarterback?
So this team is interesting. They've already got their 2 quarterbacks, and I kind of like the build there on that team, assuming they can find, the rest of their lineup to fill out here. They went QB early, obviously, so it'll be a little tough, but
what about you, Iceman? Are there any cards still out there?
Yeah, I think I like a lot of the new ones. As you can tell, I picked Gizmo, but I don't like most of them. The Birds card really is one that I would love to see how that might play out.
Which one?
If you have the Birds.
Oh, the Bird, yeah.
Yeah, which is, affects every team in your division. Like if you've got some Ravens, like I can see teams that would have Ravens, Eagles, Falcons players. Like if someone had got, I know they haven't, like the Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison stack. O-Town Steve does have that stack, so like that card would be huge for someone like that. So,
and he also
you have to undo.
You've
got to undo these last couple of picks. He can't pick.
Oh, thank you. I did not even notice that. He can't pick either of those. I'm gonna pause that. I was so focused on who I wanted, I didn't even see it. Thank you for that. He's not even on, so who do we give him? He doesn't need a receiver, quarterback.
He's back on now.
No, is he? Okay, he's back on. Let me message here.
Yeah, so I like that. And what I like about that card, about the Birds, is we finally get a chance to get Alfred Hitchcock involved with the Frankenstank. Like one of the OGs of horror films needs to be in the Frankenstank. So I like that. Negan is a good one. With the Negan card, you play it at the very beginning of the season and you designate, because he was the leader of the survivors and he liked to protect his survivors, even though he was really a bad guy on The Walking Dead. But you choose a player on your roster and you get to keep them. You're saving them, protecting them. They're on your team. So the rest of the season, they cannot be stolen no matter what. So that one's a pretty big card too.
I think I told him it backwards. I told him it had to be missed. It's made the playoffs. Yes, I know T-Law is invalid. I deleted it.
No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to
No, I realized it was you after I said it. He thought it was 2022 because I think he's reading last year's rule book that says 2022.
Yeah.
It's just last season. So he's going to have to make another player here, then we'll get moving again. We're going to have to pick 2 in a row here. And then after the 6th round, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Which hopefully will get moving a bit. Come on, Steve-O here. We need a pick from you. I won't be drafting Negan on principle alone. Can't do it. Did you make one of the heroes Daryl Dixon?
One of the possible heroes are Daryl Dixon. There's actually, I think there's 3 or 4. We got Daryl, we got Rick, I think Carol. Those are the big 3 for me, but I think maybe Michonne might be as well.
Did you answer this one? I just seen it now. How many times do you play a Leprechaun?
Oh yeah, the Leprechaun you only play it once. So you can only play the Leprechaun card one time, but there is a wheel wedge that if it lands on it, 1 out of the 20, then you have to spin it 2 more times and you suffer the fate of the wheel for both of those, which could be good or bad or whatever. So
All right. He's got about 15 seconds to make a pick here, and I'm just going to make the pick.
Can you just unpause it since he's on now and he knows?
I can try that. Yes, I can. Let's see if he'll just make the pick.
Oh, no, it was at 5 seconds.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, you just need
Yep,
to undo
made
the
it.
Adams one.
Adams needs to be undone. Who are we thinking for Adams here?
Mike Evans, I would assume.
I
Or
would-
no, he's got. I mean, he's got
it
two
needs to
wide
be
receivers. So
running back or a
So-
tight end, I would assume, or
Yeah,
a monster
so,
card.
The Packers made the playoffs, so you got Josh Jacobs there.
it's not
Joe
I would say
Mixon.
Jacobs. Yeah. I would say
Jacobs is who I was thinking. So, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on board with Jacobs stealing my pick again. This goddamn auto pick team is killing me here. So I need. This is teams that made the playoffs. So Bills. I'm gonna go George Kittle here. We're up to Jerry.
Yeah, that's
really
a good one
have
because
to
he's down. Kittle was down a little bit further on the ADP right now, and you were able to get him in this round because it has to be a playoff team. So you can still back that up with another good tight end in a tight end premium league. I like that.
Alrighty, and then we have the first team here has a quarterback and 2 receivers. Let's see where they go with the pick. And then we'll transition into non-playoff teams before a wide open shit show. They go Rashad White. Let's see where they go next. And Trevor Lawrence. So non-playoff teams now. Non-playoff teams.
So Trevor Lawrence in a super flex league goes in the 6th round. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy.
Given the hatred for him lately, that might just be his ADP. I'm not going to lie. People haven't been real fond of him lately. So I will take Chris Olave, who seems like a great value here.
Travis Etienne is actually the fine pick for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That worked
for an auto pick. Yep. So this is non-playoff teams now.
Yep.
Let's hope we can get through this round, and then I don't care. We can just let this thing run, with the exception I have to monitor 10 and 11 to make sure they draft their player by rounds 10 and 11, ironically enough. So.
Ah, Steve-O, no.
Sniped you on Trey McBride. Snipage. Let's see. Is that good? Let me check. Seattle. Okay, I have Seattle missing the playoffs as long as that checks out.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs.
That means you're up on the clock, Justin.
And I think I'm still. Oh, jeez.
I'm going to minimize that a bit here so we can see the board.
Yeah, I think I'm still going to lean towards the tight end spot. And even though he's bitten me too many times in the past, I'm going to go ahead and go with Kyle Pitts here. Try to get those tight end premiums with him playing all over the field in multiple positions. And Steve-O, be careful of the stack. Be careful of the stack because we do have a monster card that prevents you from being able to play your stack now. And I'm looking it up right now.
This person is not here, so I think I'm just going to assign the top available non-playoff player to them. I don't believe that this person's made a pick today. Devontae Adams is top on the board by a mile. Let's go Devontae Adams.
Oh, it wasn't a new card. We had it last year. It's a Jason Voorhees card. If somebody has the Voorhees card against you, you can't stack your players because he doesn't like it when the teenagers come into camp and hook up. Yeah,
I'm not familiar with some of the newer ones there. So, nice.
Oh, we got a monster card.
Yes, we do. Wonder who he's gonna pick. We can keep picking, I guess. And now we're a wide open free for all here, I suppose.
Well, hold on. Duarte can't have Nico. Oh, but he can have Rodgers. So just swap those two. And
I'm gonna leave that, and we'll assume he took it in the reverse order.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Voorhees is the pick there.
Go on and take him.
After I just mentioned it, so that means Greg, if you go up against an opponent that has a stack, let's say it's 3 players on the same team, none of them get points that week. So your opponent's not going to want to play those players against you. So, or if you have, you're going up against a team that has 3 different stacks, 2 players on 3 different teams, can't play any of them.
I'm going to have to double check the board, but by my count, I think everyone has a monster card. Did I miss anyone?
Team 4. Team
4. Oh, the auto pick team? Okay, and when do they have to pick?
Yeah.
I have it written down. Oh, they're the 11th round. I wrote them as auto, not team 4. So.
Okay, so for them, I'm playing strategy, and I would wait until the 11th round to take them.
Yeah.
If that's
because nobody else can take one, so.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to auto pick the top guy on the board here in Diggs. Keep this rolling. At this point, they might as well play. Yeah, it's not like in a league where, there's a kicker or a defense where someone could snipe in and take a second one. Nobody's allowed to take a second monster card. So team 4, we're just going to wait, and they will take the 11th round because that's where they have to take it. So why waste the pick?
Yeah. Did I take the blob card? Is that the one that I?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I thought so. All right. So I'm typically 2 quarterback leagues or super flex. I'm going to try to get a 3rd quarterback as best I can. But with the blob card, I've got my 3rd quarterback. I'm just going to wait and steal them off of wins or use the blob card if I have to. So I don't have to waste another pick here at any point for a quarterback. I really like that high-powered offense with Joe Mixon in the running back position there. I think he's going to be able to excel. He's a better running back than people have given him credit for over his career. Now he's going to be on a really high-scoring team that's probably going to run the clock out a lot in that 4th quarter in that AFC South. So good job, Justin.
Like I said, this would normally be 16 rounds. I've set us up for only 12 rounds because I just wanted to make sure everyone got their monster card pick in. Other than that, just assume it's four more rounds of bench depth. There's nothing too fancy. I look like I am in need of a QB2, so it's getting pretty dicey down here.
I need somebody to steal in week 1. Who you giving me here?
I'm going to take Deshaun Watson. Just pray he's not dead. Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
I'll still Hurts.
Awesome. Let's see. Moving along here a little bit now.
Kamara's a good pick. I was debating on Kamara there.
A lot of tight ends. Nobody wants to be caught without a tight end here, I guess, eh?
Yeah. It's a good premium.
All right. Back to the 8th round. Like I said, we are at, what is it? This is the 2nd full round here. From now on, it's just normal. Once we started the 7th, it's wide open. Take whoever the best player you want is. With the exception of the auto pick team 4, this 11th round pick has to be a monster card. If you had to say what's the one, who should we be auto picking them for the monster? What's the best card left in you guys?
Well, I will say too, unless you're drafting live at Canton on Friday, and that's 6 days away, guys. We're live in Canton in 6 days for a Frank draft. But for that particular division, there's a decent chance that maybe round 13 is all backup tight ends. Who knows? We went on a bit of a run last year.
We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. I told you, turn it into Friday the 13th round.
11. I thought about doing something, but Coach and I were so backed up with other things this year that we decided not to make any big rule changes. But
that was so
other
gross.
monster cards, huh? So let's see. On the top of my list that wasn't taken yet, it would have been Negan is my next highest one. But I do like Tremors too. Tremors gets 2 free waiver claims throughout the season.
Well, so you guys get to decide whether it be Negan or any point during the regular season.
Yeah, just the regular season.
Yep. Gotcha. So I guess when we get there, we can decide between Negan and Tremor. See, I don't know. I didn't know either of those cards. Those are the two of the ones that were added this year.
Yeah.
What do we got on the board here? You have two tight ends, 2 quarterbacks, 1 wide receiver and 1 running back, so I'm thinking you're thinking wide receiver or running back.
Yeah, I was on the running backs there.
It's pretty ugly. That's why I thought you'd go wide receiver here. The running back list got ugly in a quick freaking hurry.
Wide receiver list isn't looking great either, but I see some running backs I still like too. But I think let's go with Zay Flowers just because I think he has a breakout season this year. So in that high flying offense, he might only have 1 catch for 65 yards, but in the Frankenstank, if that's a touchdown, that's going to get you about 35 points. So that's my kind of player in the Frank.
So this team needs a second quarterback, so I'm just going to auto pick them the highest quarterback left, which is Baker. And we're back to the end of the board here.
Duarte, if you're watching the show too, I'm going running back here. I have a feeling I know who you're thinking here, Duarte. I'm going to go running back. You better take him.
Duarte is on the clock. Let's see. We do have a mini running back run here, so I hope neither of those was the guy you wanted.
Hey, Puppet Master is a fun card too. You can choose 2 teams that are not you at all, just 2 totally different teams, and make a trade of any kind. It doesn't even have to be position for position. It doesn't have to be starter for starter. You're taking 2 totally different teams and forcing them to make a forced trade that they didn't even know was coming out of nowhere. So I kind of like that one. That's going to shake things up.
Yeah, that's definitely a powerful one that could do some real damage.
He let me down. He went Ferguson. I was trying to talk him into taking a running back. I wanted a third tight end. Because you can start a third tight end. You can start 2 flex tight ends. So in this league, tight ends score a lot of points, especially early on. I kind of like doing the 3 tight end thing until I can steal players at other positions.
Well, you're going to get the tight end you want from the looks of it, unless Iceman snags him here. He did not. Another receiver.
No, Ferguson was the tight end I wanted. That's why.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to talk him into taking a running back there, but all right. I'm gonna. I guess by sheer volume, you do get points per rush also, so I'll go Najee here.
Apparently, Hitman almost took Fergie himself last round.
Iceman, you like the PPR there with your late wide receivers?
Yeah, I just like, I didn't necessarily plan on going. I personally will go either wide receiver or running back heavy in the draft and just stack up on one with then the hope being that I'm going to steal the other position. And the way this has fallen, it's gone wide receiver heavy. So yeah, I will just continue to just stack wide receivers.
I'm going to undo the last pick there. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to undo this pick because this guy needs a tight end. So I feel like he probably would have gone a tight end here.
Yeah, especially after all the tight end talk we've had.
Who do we have here? I would have said Hawkinson, but he's probably going to be gone half the season. I'm partial to Freiermuth. I'm sure many people are going to say Goddard. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, I think Freiermuth does have a bit of a breakout compared to his previous years. I think it's pretty close for me between those two. I don't really care.
Yeah. Freiermuth it is. And that puts me back up on the clock for the guy I want. Where is he? Godwin. That's who I wanted. We have Zamir White. Then we are back on the turn, getting towards the end here. Really picks up after all those special cards are gone, hey?
Yeah.
Now we're in kind of a wide receiver run, it looks like. Ooh, me back on the clock. Calvin Ridley, I did not see that. Then I am going to get my guy here in Deontay. I have like the same players I take in every draft in rounds like, it's 9-10 here, but normally it's like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's like the same 5 players over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I do not love Deshaun Watson as my QB2. So I'm going to grab a QB3. Spoiler alert.
Now, so in years past, and Frank, this is where I would be going for Taysom Hill because he's always been listed as a tight end. But just so everybody knows, now he's listed as a quarterback on my fantasy league. So that really hurts his value in this league because you're losing that. With the tight end premium you got with him playing all those different positions, he had some huge weeks. Sharknado, damn it. All right, that was my pick. So I need to reconsider my life at this point. But I still like Keon Coleman, though. I think he's going to have a huge season.
You
he's
really wanted McConkey, hey?
Offense. I did. I really do. I think that Ladd McConkey is going to be this year's version of Puka. Obviously, not nearly as good as Puka. Those were crazy numbers for a rookie wide receiver. But I think he is going to be a surprise guy that comes out of nowhere and could potentially be that third best wide receiver we're waiting to see because – unfortunately, Odunze, as you know, he's third on the depth chart. I don't see him being the third best for fantasy, but I think McConkey could be that guy.
All right, we're really moving along here. Almost at the end of the 10th now, and we only have one team that has needs a monster card.
Yeah, and he needs to take it in this round, right?
Yes, he does. Yeah. The 11th one, yep. That is exactly it.
There you go, One Pride. You finally got a quarterback. I like it. Willie Levis. Jeans. One Pride. He finally got a quarterback.
Oh, he has one. He had never mind. You're throwing shade at Anthony Richardson again, hey? I got
yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to play musical chairs with us on the screens here and move us around so we can see the whole board. It doesn't work as well because you guys are right next to each other, but let's see how that comes out. There we go. You're kind of over top of your – it works better when we're spread out, but with you guys picking back-to-back, it doesn't come off nearly as well, but it is what it is. Sometimes I like to make it small enough where it looks like we are the logo there, but it is what it is. Like I said, I just want to show the bottom of the board. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. We are getting low on players here. That's for damn sure. I can tell you that much. Ooh, we got us a Tony Pollard sighting. I'm not in on Tony Pollard. Who's up? This is primetime again. So who? I got to make this pick for primetime. Another tight end or a position player? What do you guys think here? Takes top on the board, I guess, or.
Yeah, I would.
What do you guys think?
Give him
JJ as a QB3?
No, I would give him. Wow,
I don't. Bryce Young, maybe if you're going to go quarterback.
All right.
I think he has a better chance of bouncing back, and he has Brooks, so
sure.
He does have a stack there. But
Bryce Young, it is, and it is up to we have Iceman going Goddard. Ran up to get that.
Didn't have a tight end, so I did, and that was exactly what I did last year. Just didn't pick tight end and picked up Goddard at around the same kind of time last year.
Yeah, well, just wait. If you go to Canton, wait and get your tight end in the 13th round like everyone else.
Man, I found a little gem that's still sitting here. I like Jameson Williams.
I like that one. The hype train in Detroit here has been going off the rails over him.
That's right. Can you gamble in Michigan? Because you're pretty close to Detroit, right?
Yeah, it's it's a pain in the ass. I can go over, and it just I don't ever care enough to actually do that. So,
gotcha.
I don't. I can do it here. I can gamble like we have a casino, and I can do single bets and all that. I just can't do the things like the DFS sites, like Underdog and that. I can't really use any of those. Okay, so we have the next one's going to be an auto pick. So I'm just going to assign it right now.
That's going to be his monster card.
Yes, it is. And we were deciding, what did we say it was? Negan?
Negan. Yeah.
Negan it is. Okay, I'm going to make my pick. You guys want to go into an explanation here of what the new Negan card is?
Yeah, like I said, it's a very simple card. You use it at the start of the season before the season even starts, which does give you another bonus. By using that card early, you now have another roster spot to fill another player in. But you're using or no. I take that back. No, I lied. You're using Negan to protect a player, but you have to hang on to the Negan card to continue to protect the player.
Yeah.
You don't lose the Negan card until you lose the player. So the only way you lose that player is if you drop them, though, because nobody can steal them.
Oh, that's an interesting new one. I haven't. Obviously, it was first year in the league with it, so I like that. That has some serious potential.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting to the last round here. We have a Jalen Warren pick, followed by this guy. Yeah, it looks like everyone took their monster card, correct? I think we're good on that.
Yep. Yeah.
And it is up to me to make my final pick. I've got 3 quarterbacks, or I could have 1 quarterback. It's tough to say. I do have 1 running back, so I may want to get on that and pick one of those things. I guess they help out. I don't necessarily like any of these running backs. This is kind of gross.
I just noticed that Christian Watson went, and I was hoping to stack him up with Jordan Love in this last round.
I am going to go with Jerome Ford here because I have no faith in Nick Chubb's ability to get healthy. Team 4 went with another tight end. We'll just let it be. Not worried. Because, yeah, Team 4 fulfilled last round with the monster card. Yep, so they're good. We are good. 12 rounds. Everyone got there.
Reports out of camp are looking good for Bo Nix so far, so that might be a sneaky good pick there.
Love it. What does everybody have left? I'm trying to scan through some of these rosters to see if anybody didn't draft, all the players they need or who's really short wear, but nothing that I've noticed so far. It looks like everyone's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going running back if that helps. Oh, no! Damn.
Oh, was that who you wanted?
Sharknado. Man.
Is that twice in a row?
Okay.
McConkey and Spears.
Yep. And he did it one other time early in the draft.
Nice.
Lamar, but I can't get upset with Lamar, obviously. Yeah. So he's 2 big ones, though. Let's see.
Right.
I think I'm just going to go I'm a big Zach Moss fan. I was high on that hype train early on. Chase Brown's looking good. Man, I don't know. All right. So if I'm going to take a backup running back, I'm going to take one at this point where if the starter goes down, he could see huge numbers. I'm going to go Trey Benson. I think he's got the talent that he's actually going to probably see the field a little bit this rookie season anyway. So who knows?
This team, I think I'm just going to give them the top player left on the board, which is D-Hop. All right, a few more picks left, and then we'll do a quick outro here. You guys can, discuss anything you think that needs to be mentioned here, and we'll get this wrapped up since this has gone
I'll say that if you
way
like
longer
what you're
than
seeing
I
here,
think any of us had hoped.
if you like what you're seeing here and you want to get in on the Frankenstank, we do have 3 more spots available, and then I'm going to try to fill an entire another 12-team league at Canton if we have enough at the Expo to fill another division. So that's all I got to say. We'll see you guys at Canton.
All right, and Dylan, it's Duarte has capped it off. All right, before we call it a day, why don't you just each of you take another second here to promote yourself and the site and whatnot, and we'll be on our merry little way.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. This was great. First time I've really dived into Frank again, and looking forward to seeing the live drafts in Canton. But yeah, find us, Playing with House Money. We'll be back every Thursday on Twitter at PW_House Money for all of your sports gambling. There's, I'm obviously English. There's the Premier League coming back this month. European soccer starts, so there'll be a lot of that. There'll be a lot of NFL, obviously, dropping every week. But yeah, at PW_House Money, at Iceman_1013. And yeah, everyone that's going to be in Canton, I'll see you in a few days.
Oh, you're actually making the. Where are you from?
So I'm in New York. So yeah.
Okay, I thought you were further than that for some reason. Could be the accent.
No, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, a little bit further.
Yeah.
You're
How about
mute,
you, Justin?
No, I think we've said everything that we want to say, but also we do have 4 Airbnbs also, so all of the rooms are taken. But if you're in a tight spot, we don't want to see somebody miss the expo just because the hotels were full or you couldn't afford housing. So reach out to me. I'll hook you up with a couch. And I mean, if you're willing to stay on a couch, or you can bunk up with Iceman, maybe he might be into that. So he loves meeting new people. So so just it's at Justin FF _ or at Toilets to Titles. But look forward to seeing you guys, man. This is going to be fun.
Well, thank you for joining me, guys. It's always fun to do the Frankenstank drafts, the mocks anyways. It's so much tougher than I always, assume it's going to be. The first few rounds are always tough to get through and take 40 minutes, but I'm glad we got through it, and I can't wait to get into the actual drafts. So to the Toilets to Titles, guys, thank you for joining me. It's nice to have you both on. Thank you all for tuning into the Fantasy Football Universe. Check back tomorrow. We are live at noon. Take care, everyone.